Hi friends, MD Vegan. Today I make a pea soup. This is one of my first soups I invented. I call it 5 minutes pea soup. It was very early on when I was making cooking videos here years ago, and I made many variations, very many variations of it already. It's a fantastic soup. So many people liked it so far, friends of mine and so. And here I have 2 cups of frozen peas. They're still frozen. That's exciting because the basic idea is I have the frozen peas. They are easy to get, and the sweet peas are, when you have them fresh, it's very expensive. Yeah? But the frozen ones are inexpensive and also very delicious. And super healthy, of course. Peas are so healthy. Yeah, a lot of protein in there, many minerals. Yeah, this is wonderful, low calories. It's an amazing food. I love peas. Yeah. And they're easy to make. You just blend them up and ready. And I have the cooking water here. Has been cooking for some time, minutes ago. And now if I put it over these frozen peas, the frozen peas get warm and the water gets cold. So it has the ideal temperature for a soup. It's warm soup with frozen peas. And the soup is, I would say, it's still raw soup. I mean, the frozen peas might have been, before they have frozen, they might have been steamed a little bit, yeah, or maybe just to give them a little bit, to keep the green color. But it's not really cooked or so. So when you want to have really a raw, sweet pea soup, you should take these fresh peas from the shop and put them out of the shelves, and then you can then make the same soup. But it is so easy like that. So this is the basic idea. I use these frozen peas, put them right into the blender, and then I need some other ingredients to make it creamier, to give it some flavor, different flavors. Today I take bear's garlic. Here there's wild garlic. It's also called bear's garlic because in spring it's the first green that grows. Yeah. The first green herb that grows. And it's famous because the name bear's garlic, it's all wild garlic, it tastes like garlic a little bit. But when the spring comes and the first green herbs come out, the bears come and eat it, because in wintertime they have a lot of toxins in the body, and to cleanse out from winter when they're not so active, they sleep maybe, and they eat the bear's garlic to cleanse out the system, to get ready for spring, for the summer, to get active again. And makes sense. It's really a cleansing. Green herbs are always cleansing. Bear's garlic especially. It's called wild garlic too. And this is the flavor for today. I will make a wild garlic pea soup. And to make it creamy, I put a handful of cashews in there. It's a half cup or so. I made another recipe like this called bear's garlic pea soup many years ago. You can find that also on my channel, MD Vegan. But then this, in the other one, I took different ingredients. I have, for example, I have the coconut oil, and I had avocado to make it creamier. This time I just take cashews for that. And I have salt and red pepper. Here I have black pepper, peppercorns, and a teaspoon of sea salt, Himalayan salt. So just pepper and salt. That's the very basic ingredient and seasonings to make this a delicious soup. Because the main flavor should be the bear's garlic. Put that into. Not a whole bunch. It would be too much. It's a very strong flavor. Just a small part of a bunch. Yeah, maybe 10 or so, 10 leaves or so. You can even find them outside in the forest or so. When you are lucky, you find bear's garlic here in Berlin, for example. There are whole forests of you find them. This was from a health food shop. Otherwise, I have to go to that other place. It takes some time to get there from here. I did already, but this time I have it from the health food shop. They have it now. Of course, it's spring, first spring days, and they always come up with wild garlic there. So now I have my almost boiling water, and you see, if I put the thing is, if I put maybe 2 centimeters above the sweet peas here, it's about 2 centimeters on top. So can you see that? Here are the peas, and here's the water. So it goes 2 centimeters up. It should be the right amount of water. That's what I measure always. So let's see if it works. Otherwise I can add a little bit more water if needed. Blender dance. Color looks nice. Light green. Temperature is perfect, like a soup should be. Not too hot, not too cold. And the texture, well, looks nice. The fragrance is nice. You know, this wild garlic, it tastes a little bit like garlic without having the strong smell. It's more, the flavor is more, the fragrance is more like a green, this freshness. When you look at green grass, you have a certain impression of this freshness. And that's what in the smell here, the fragrance is. It's a wonderful flavor, a wonderful fragrance. So it's a little bit thick maybe. Let's taste it. I want to know if I have to use some more water or some more seasoning, some little more salt or whatever. Let's see. Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a background. The garlic flavor comes from the background. And it's a little bit thick, just a little bit too thick. I could use it like that. But anyway, I would have to blend one more time because the cashews here have not been soaked. So they are doing that now. They're soaking now. It's a handful, half cup of cashews. So when they soak now, in the warm and broken down into small, very small pieces, they soak very fast. And so it will thicken up the soup. And it has still a little bit of coarse texture. So a second blending would be better anyway. But I think as the soup is a little bit too thick, and that would always also, in addition to the coarseness of the first blending of the cashews, there's a little bit too little water in there that would change the flavor a little bit. So blending it a second time, now I taste the wild garlic in the back of my mouth. It's a nice way. Sometimes the seasoning, the flavor comes from the backside, from the back of the tongue. It comes forward slowly. It's a nice effect. You eat it like an afterburner. You have then that special flavor. Flavors come in different ways. Sometimes they are there immediately. Sometimes they come a little bit later, after you had your spoon or so. Interesting to watch. It's all different, makes all difference for the feeling, what you have in the mouth. And you can play with that a little bit as a chef. For example, I know now the bear's garlic, the wild garlic, comes from behind. Yeah. Very nice. You have it in the background, like a background flavor. So yeah, so to blend it one more time with a little bit more water would change the flavor considerably because of the texture. Yeah. And it makes it a little bit thinner. So I put a little bit more water in there. Yeah. So maybe a third of a cup. In addition, I don't know how much I have now. Let's see, maybe 1.5 cup of waters. I don't know. Didn't measure it. But we'll see now if it works. Blender dance again. I love my blender. At first I had a very small blender, not very powerful, because I didn't know. I saw these videos with these power blenders and I thought, this is very expensive, and do I really want to have one? I'd begin with a small blender. I had not much money then, less than now even. But this, after some time, a year or something, I don't know how long it took, I used the blender more and more, and I found, yes, I want to have a big blender. Now, this power blender is maybe one of the most important tools in my kitchen for cooking. It's really, I love it. It's wonderful. It makes the most creamiest of soups. You can put all kinds of vegetables in there, make wonderful creamy soups. Doesn't work with a smaller blender. Still, a smaller blender is a good tool also, but you want to have the perfect vegetable soups, the creaminess that makes it. Then you need such a power blender. It's such a difference. So let's taste it. Texture is, it's the perfect texture, I would say. It's light and runny. Still there's creaminess, but of course the flavor is always the most important thing. Let's see. Now, after blending the second time, there is this gentle, hot, sharp flavor from the bear's garlic, or the wild garlic, and there's also the sweetness of the pea. It's nicely balanced. Not too much salt, not at all. Not too much pepper, not at all. So I would say it's perfect. It's wonderful, because you have to taste that pea. The pea has a sweet flavor. It's called sweet pea, and this should be there. This sweetness should be there. It is. Only after the second blending. Now I show you the texture. It flows into the glass. You see the texture is very nice. You see all the steaming a little bit. It's a nice warm soup. Yeah. This is I make this in 5 minutes, and it is one of my favorite recipes, as I said, because it's so easy, it's so delicious, and it is so keeping. We eat it, you don't need anything else. So now I have some avocados here and some red chili peppers. As you can see, I just put it on top a little bit to decorate. Yeah. You can take more or less avocados. It's for many vegetable soups. I like this as an inlay, as a topping, as a garnish. Yeah, just on top, some of them, some small pieces. Yeah, and then it looks nice, and it's very pleasant to eat. Yeah, when there's a little avocado pieces in the soup, it looks not only nice, it does not look nice. It is also very delicious. Yeah. See. And some red chili pepper on top, and you have the green and red color effect. It's a beautiful harmony of red and green. And what you can also do to make it a little bit more fancy, it's not necessary, of course. Nothing of this is necessary. It's all random here. It's all fancy here. This is called fleur de sel. This is the flower, the blossom of salt. And it is made by just drying the salt water. I do it in, I don't know where they make it, I guess in France or so in many cases. And the salt crystals are large, look like crystals, larger crystals. And they put it on top of food to decorate it and to give it a nice, crunchy, salty touch. I love it, yeah, especially on the soups. It's my classic decoration. Can you see the large crystals here? A little bit against the light. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful soup. You can have many different kinds of these kind of pea soups. There are so many different flavors there. Now it's time for wild garlic, and here it is. Voila! Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. You like my video? Like it. Subscribe. MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.